on the correct channel. That could
Oh,
be.
okay.
That's bad. Yeah, okay. I was on the wrong channel. Apologies, guys. We're now on the correct channel. So that's all good. You didn't miss a whole lot. We were just talking about bans and picks. American Flag going for that Alistar is usually his fallback when the Leona gets banned. So I'm thinking we're going to see him in the bot lane.
Gotcha. Hecarim jungle, interesting. I haven't seen too many Hecarims played this season. I know he's he's got a high skill cap, so if you're good with him, he can definitely carry a game really easily.
Yeah, I mean, we don't even see him that often. He's just so, like, you have to know the champion almost inside and out. But like you said, Kratoris is going to get that Vayne.
Yeah, that Thresh, or not the Thresh, the Twitch pick, probably a troll pick?
Or it could be
there
jungle. Jungle Twitch, it used to be a thing. It can still work with the Madstone.
It does. His ganks is definitely scary. He can come out of that, come out of the jungle really fast, and just slow a champion with his poison cast, and then deal a lot of damage and get that expunge off.
That Akali lock-in, definitely going for some carry potential with the Vayne, with the Akali. They want to pick up some early kills and just try and snowball that into a quick win.
They're looking for the snowball champions. Not sure if that's going to be an Akali top or an Akali mid. We'll see. That Teemo pick.
That's definitely a troll. Ziggs on Riva, I think that's going to get locked in. He's probably just going to change it real quick. Gragas in the top lane, never mind. What are they going for? They're going for the Gnar. Gnar's definitely an oppressive.
There. Yeah, Gnar definitely provides a lot of CC for a team. Purple team's really going for a team fight comp here. They got the Gnar with the large AoE knockback, or the Hecarim with a large AoE fear, and then Reva can just throw a Ziggs ult right on top of that, and American Flag can go in and knock everyone up. They got a really big wombo combo that blue team should really be scared of.
Yeah, I mean, with all the assassinations that they're trying to pull out of blue team, they're going into a lot of tank. I mean, Alistar with the 70% damage reduction, Hecarim obviously building pretty tanky, Gnar picking up maybe one damage item and then going straight tank. That's a lot of stuff they're going to have to burn through, and while Kratoris is on that vein, it's going to take them a while.
I think Falcodile should have locked in Zed there. I think they could have gone with the split push comp better, or a 1-3-1 as Silson pointed out in our chat. I don't think blue team wants a team fight at all. So I feel like that Lux pickup may be kind of a mistake, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I mean, they do have that Akali who can sort of hit that like 1v1 godlike potential and sort of split push, but they're going to want those resets in team fights. So they sort of split their comp there a little bit, but Vayne can split push, but again, that's your AD carry. You want them in the fight.
Right. You could go full double left here. We'll see.
Other than that, there's Draven. I'm wondering if the Draven's going to get locked in, because that's a very offensive lane. Alistar, Draven, that's going to take some sort of real communication to get that going.
I definitely think they're going for the snowball lane over Vayne. Vayne takes a little bit of time to rev up, where Draven can get a few early kills with his stacks. He can get a lot of gold and get way ahead of Kratoris here.
I mean, and he's going to be able to put out some serious damage onto Akali, because if they can get a pink down, her Shroud's then useless. It used to give some stats, but they took those away in form of a speed boost. So she's not going to be tanky in that Shroud, and just going to get deleted by Draven's damage.
Yep. So Draven and Ziggs are going to have to stay really safe here, just because they do have a lot of dive on blue team if a team fight does break out. But if Reva and Olama can stay safe, then I don't really see blue team winning a team fight. It's all going to come down to the micromanagement of the team fight, though, on blue side. If they can get into the damage dealers and take out Olama and Riva, they don't really have. Purple team doesn't really have that much damage after their after their damage dealers get taken out. They have a lot of frontliners.
Yeah, I mean, Hecarim isn't always a slouch on damage, especially if he picks up a Elder Lizard. He can do an okay amount of damage. Same with Gnar. I mean, especially in Mini Gnar, he's fairly damaging with either Ghost Blade, which we've seen him pick up, or Blade of the Ruined King. Both of those can tweak his damage output a little bit, but you're definitely right. Without Ziggs and Draven, it's going to be hard. Whereas blue team's just all threats. I mean, outside of maybe the Thresh Jarvan, that's a lot of people you have to kill pretty early on in the fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's going to come down to who can peel better, in my opinion. If purple team can keep their damage dealers alive, then they're going to win the team fight. If blue team can get past that frontliner and get onto the damage dealers, then purple team doesn't stand a chance.
And with Akali, that's entirely doable.
Yeah, that is true. I think this first dragon fight's going to really show how this game's going to go. I think that's going to be a really contested early objective. I'd expect to see a level 6 fight go out at it, possibly level 7. Blue team has the teleport advantage, so purple team's really going to have to adjust their and rotate down, maybe send Gnar to mid lane and send Ziggs into the jungle to try to set up that dragon. But blue team can sort of be a little late to the fight since they have that teleport advantage. They can sort of wing it a little bit more. But definitely positioning is going to be very important in that first dragon fight.
Yeah, and I mean, Gnar with the Ignite, is he going to have that super kill potential against Akali early on, or is it just sort of a wasted summoner spell that he's going to be not even helping his team with?
Yeah, I'd expect a level 3 gank to come out on Akali. Definitely with that slow, and with the jump, he can, and with the his passive move speed, every third auto attack, I'd expect that kill potential to come out on the jumping Lima Beam. But if they don't get that, then that Ignite may really hurt them late game, especially since they can't easily move across the map.
Yeah, I mean, Gnar has his jump, but he's not exactly the fastest champion, even once he starts picking up boots.
Yeah, definitely.
That being said, last couple of seconds, what do you think we're going to see for skins?
Skins? I hope we see Dino Gnar. I love that skin. It's so cute.
It's just, you're throwing houses at people. It's so good.
Blue team, I hope we see Championship Thresh. It's one of my favorite skins. I play it all the time as a support main. It's just, I love the animations. It's so cool.
I don't know, I want to see a nice Fnatic Jarvan. I think it's one of his better skins, and it's definitely fun to see. Even though he does have, like, knee-high socks, and just looks a bit silly.
Yeah, I love all the Fnatic skins. I bought the pack. Fnatic Janna's my favorite though.
See, everybody hates on Fnatic Karthus, but I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not his worst skin. I don't like the Pentakill Karthus.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, we got Dino Gnar and Championship Thresh. Yes.
Yeah, and Lubu, Jarvan, Spellthief Lux, SKT Vayne, and of course Rainbow Hecarim. Just lots of good skins coming out. Nothing on the Ziggs Draven, though.
Report this Hecarim for not having the same icon. His team tried so hard.
Yeah, they had it at the beginning when they were in Team Select, and then I guess they ended up swapping it out at the last second.
Master Confessor, blowing it.
He just had to do the double show off on the plat, the border and the icon. Talk about ego. That being said, I don't think we're going to see any level 1 shenanigans. I mean, blue team could go for an invade. They do have the CC advantage, but are they really going to risk it?
you always have to be careful when your level 1 is up against a hook champion like Thresh and Blitzcrank. Um, they provide a lot of CC and they can get into the middle of your team really fast. That being said, I feel like the level 1 CCs that they could take, besides Thresh's hook, are really damaging to the lane. Stealthy Flux, or Stealthy Flux. Lux, I would anticipate wanting to take her AoE spell just to push that lane and get level 2 first. And Vayne starting Condemn is not very good. So there's a possibility of an invade. They might scout it out with a ward, and if they see something, they'll go, but I'm not sure if they will risk it at all. Especially with the Alistar disengage.
True. I mean, they could risk it, but at the end of the day, is it really going to get them that first blood that they want?
Right, and that Alistar, if he takes his knockup first, Ziggs with the AoE damage on his Q, and Draven can dish out a lot of damage level 1, it could easily turn and not in their favor.
That's obviously the worst thing that could happen at level 1, just giving up a kill or two when you aggressively invade.
Yeah, pull what was it, Samsung White versus AHQ?
Yeah, that's just not what you want to see.
Went 5 for 1.
Very interesting from this Akali having biscuits. I don't know what happened. I mean, did his masteries not change or something wrong happened?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe he wanted... I'm not sure what's going on.
I mean, that's very deep in the utility tree for such an aggressive champion, and the biscuits obviously don't have any advantage giving him mana over energy. I mean, losing out a lot.
He may have wanted the movement speed, but yeah, I'm not sure, because in the utility tree it goes, there's 3 in movement speed, 3 in mana regen, 1 in a recall, and 1 in I forget what the other one is. So the level 1 would be, he'd have to put 3 in the movement speed and 1 in the recall. That doesn't seem very efficient to me.
No, I mean, on Akali, I would definitely want the 21-9, just trying to get some early burst off while still being somewhat defensive early on. And we see him going the cloth armor. Not really seeing, outside of maybe Azonia's, what he's going to build that into.
Yeah, I'd anticipate an early Seekers coming out just because he's up against the Gnar. That's a lot of auto attacks that get off. He's a ranged champion against a non-ranged champion, so they take a lot of poke. So the 5 pots with the cloth armor is not a bad start, but I'd anticipate seeing either an early Seekers or possibly an early Ninja Tabby.
And we see Alistar starting coin. You typically see most melee champions get that Targon just because it's so useful. I mean, some health sustain and just double the gold is just definitely a bit more, what's the word? Practical, I guess I would say.
Yeah, I hear you. They may be looking to have a hard engage, because Hecarim does get AD with movement speed. So maybe if they pop their trinket, or not pop their trinket, pop the coin, Hecarim pops his movement speed buff, and then ults on top of that. That's a lot of movement speed and possibly a lot of AD extra. And it's a good engage.
Yeah, I mean, you can even use the move speed to get an extra pulverize in. And Pancake's going in, actually sort of losing this trade for now. That he's gonna transform.
He gets that first blood.
He force-fed Akali a nice little house and picks up the first blood.
Well played, well played.
Yeah, that was definitely a little risky, and he's really glad that Akali didn't have Ignite.
Oh, the DC comes out.
The Rage DC.
I don't know if that was a Rage DC or if she was DC'd in that fight. I think she threw a spell, so...
I saw her throw the Q, but I guess that must have happened after. The BM's coming out, claiming he knew.
Let's go look at the replay. I mean, he's definitely autoing level 1. Nar hits level 2. Oh, he does just stand still. And oh, he walks in. Yeah, he's just throwing autos, no Qs.
Yeah, you're right. That is a bit BM, but it's only so
It's
much you can do.
unfortunate.
Yeah. It's okay. Well, I went back to, you know, catch up and see that replay. And now it won't let me go back to live.
Yeah, I think they're still paused, so you just gotta play it out until the pause comes out.
There we go. Back to live. Yeah, other than that, nothing really expansive over the map, although we see Vayne with 8 CS over Draven. That's a bit surprising.
That is a bit surprising. I'd expect that the purple side team that purple side bot lane to win this early game, but Vayne and Thresh apparently are doing a really good job at zoning. Thresh does have the extra potion since he didn't opt for that ward, so he feels like he can be a little bit more aggressive. He also has that target as a heal as AD carry if they do take some trades. So well played by blue side bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, it's not usual, it's not typical that you see a Draven, an early game lane bully, losing to Vayne, more of a mid game, late game champion.
Yeah. Other than that, I'd expect these lanes to be pretty even. Akali, unfortunately, fell way behind because he DC'd, but I'd expect Ziggs to be able to outfarm Lux, at least early game, just because he's got such a bigger push potential. I believe his Q is on a lower cooldown than Lux's AoE damage, so I'd expect him to be able to push that in and CS better than Lux. And Hecarim and J4 are farming about the same. They have about the same clear time, so everything else seems to be going as expected.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the lower cooldown on the bouncing bombs is going to be able to help him get a lead early on, and he does have it. He has about a wave of minions extra, and I'd expect that to stay at least until they can both get a chalice, maybe.
Yeah, I'd expect chalices out of both those champions just because they use so much mana in lane. That passive mana regen is very important.
And then obviously the cooldown, just so useful, both of them, once you get to that unholy grail.
Yeah, I believe it's a 20% cooldown. That's a lot of damage they can put out with that 20% cooldown.
A lot of Lux builds, once they can get to the 30 to 40 cooldown reduction range, once you hit level 16, your ultimate's down to about a 26-second cooldown, so you can really just use it whenever you want, because it'll be ready by the next time anything happens.
Exactly, and that's 2 Lux lasers in a prolonged team fight, which is game-changing.
Yeah, that's huge. You can land a binding in the early, nuke out the enemy AD carry, wait, land a second binding, and then nuke out either the Alistar once his ult runs out, or even the mid laners, the Ziggs, because he's going to want to sit in the back too.
So, looks like Akali's still having trouble getting into this game. I wonder if they're... I don't think they can remake since the First Blood has gone out.
The DC is a full DC. He DC'd from Mumble also. So they have the admins in the channel. I'm sure we'll get a message from them in a minute trying to find out what happened. Oh, he actually reconnected, so now we should be reconnecting to the game any minute.
Alright, sweet. Yeah, it's always nice to... Kind of sucks if, like, they just completely rage quit. That's not what this competition's about.
No, and we've had a couple instances this season where that has happened, but it's definitely nothing by the book common. Like, it's definitely very uncommon.
Mhm.
There was a DC.
Yes, we were aware of that.
He's trying to connect.
Yep.
Thanks for the update.
We were gonna restart, but he came back at the last second.
Cool.
So now with this early pressure, the purple side has been able to, or red side has been able to collect with that early first blood. I wonder where the pressure is going to be applied. I'd expect Nar to be able to snowball that lane, so I'm not sure if Hecarim is going to need to be able, or is going to need to be up top lane that much. So I'd expect to see Hecarim more in the mid to bot side jungle, which could easily snowball that Draven. Unfortunately, they're losing early pretty hard against a lane that's not favorable in the early game. Except Thresh is pretty decent against Alistar and pretty decent against melee champions. So it's very interesting to see. It'll be very interesting to see how this shapes the jungle paths. I'd anticipate J4 probably helping top lane since Akali is that snowball champion and is now behind. So it'll be interesting to see.
I'm definitely going to expect Hecarim to try and come to this bot lane. Kratoris and Plague are pushing very hard and just shoving Olama and American Flag under their own tower. And if they can't get consistent wards in that river, then it's just going to be free ganks for the Alistar, who has his Ghost, who has his ultimate and his E, just to be able to jump into that lane and wreak havoc.
Mm-hmm. One thing that is worth noting is Vayne does have her ward up. So she could drop that 60-second ward in the river. I don't believe Hecarim has been spotted yet. So I'm not sure if they know if it was a red start or if it was a blue start. They could probably tell by the way Ziggs came out of the jungle. But I'd anticipate him dropping that ward in the river. And as you see, Thresh's ward is about on a 70 to 75 second cooldown, so there is that 15 seconds where they won't have the opportunity to ward in that river. So if Hecarim can time his gank in that sort of vicinity, he is topside right now. If he goes down to clear his wolves and clear white, he might be just in that perfect opportunity to gank.
Yeah, we see a reconnect in the chat. I think we're just waiting for someone to say to start.
I'm not sure if Akali has spoken yet. But red side says they're ready and you guys on pause, so. Hecarim's just waiting. And the unpause comes out.
Yeah, I mean, Hecarim looks like he wants to come into this mid lane. He's going to get spotted by a ward, and I don't think he's really going to be able to gank this lane whatsoever. Void Energy taking lots of damage, actually. He could go down and give double buffs over to this Gnar, and it looks like he's maybe going to. He is.
Oh, well played by that Gnar.
Yeah, I mean, that's devastating. That
a
makes
really
it even
bad
worse.
sign. Akali is now behind in CS, behind in kills,
And behind in
Now-
buffs.
yeah, and behind in double buffs. That's really a bad sign for that top lane. Yeah, he's down almost 1,000 gold. He's down 800 gold now.
American Flag sees he has help coming in. The knockup from Alistar is going to make the Pulverize miss, though. And now they can't really do much because they're already under tower.
Ooh, that hook.
That was a really good hook. That's going to be double buffs to
Getting the
Kratoris.
double buffs.
That's...
Get another kill here. He's gonna follow it up.
He can definitely chase this. He still
The
has...
heal.
Still has heal. But he has double buff now. He can totally work this lane to his advantage even more than he already was.
So a really good start for the red side top lane and a really good start for the blue side bot lane. It'll be interesting to see who can carry harder.
I mean, both junglers just having zero thought for their buffs. Just giving it right away.
Lima Bean might go down here. Oh, he goes back in.
He thought about it. Ah, one more
Just
auto
gets
attack.
away. Getting away with 90 HP there.
And not
One
having
auto attack.
the teleport even, he's going to have to back, and while Nar doesn't push out that wave that's on tower now, Akali's still losing a good amount of CS.
Yeah, he's down. He's CSing half as efficiently as Nar is. So Nar getting that phage, the chase potential is now real. Especially with that passive movement speed he gets from the phage and from his passive. That's going to be hard to deal with.
I mean, it's also kind of an odd build, seeing a phage on Nar. Typically, you would see Cutlass or Brutalizer. Triforce Nar is just not very common.
I haven't played against too many Nars in my time, so I've definitely, the most common build that I've seen is that Cutlass, so it was a little strange, but I would anticipate him wanting to use that passive to chase down this Akali.
Yeah, and having 2 kills and the extra CS, he's going to hit 6 well before Akali.
Yeah, he's almost a full level ahead, and Akali is getting chunked back down to half HP here.
My only concern for Nar is that he consistently goes into melee range.
And the flash being blown, Nar hits level 6 with that jump, so he's 1.5 to 2 levels ahead of this Akali. That's not a good sign for that top lane. She's going to have to be forced to CS from under tower, and as an Akali, that's not very easy.
And his double buffs have worn off, so he's going to have to actually work for his kills now.
Yeah, can't chase down as easily with the red buff slow and the phage movement speed, but he's still got pretty good chase potential. And he's zoning really
If
well.
he gets a good Nar stun, keeping her out of the puddle.
If Knight comes out, I think this is going to be another kill.
She
for
shows
him.
himself.
There's the kill.
Pulverize coming out.
Alistar forced to blow his flash here. This blue side bot lane is really dominating this lane. 47 to 21 in CS. That's a big gap.
Yeah, I mean, they also based already, whereas Draven's been in this lane this whole game. Ryva gonna get ganked. Throws out the satchel charge, but there's still options. The Flag and Drag is still available. Slow gonna come out. Knockup's gonna land, and now Ryva's in a bit of trouble. However, he's just gonna flash over the wall.
Here comes this tech run for the counter gank. He's only level 4 though.
He doesn't have, or he has Ghost available, no flash though. So he wouldn't have been able to get over that wall if he had wanted to.
Something else to note, Draven has not gotten a CS in the past minute. This Vayne and Thresh are able to zone him so efficiently that he's just getting starved of gold and starved of experience.
And one of the issues with Draven is he's a snowball champion to the max. Like, if you can't get those early kills or whatever, then it's not going to be useful. Smite going to come and give the blue buff to Hecarim, and then Llama's going to cash in. That's going to put him effectively on par with this Vayne.
Yeah, it's definitely a good buff, but he is still 700 gold behind this Vayne. 66 CS to 21 CS is a huge gap.
I was thinking he had a bit more adoration stacks than he did. But yeah, I mean, he's just so far behind. Pancake's starting to eat a bunch of tower. Basically an even trade for that Akali because of the tower.
Yeah. And you see the double cloth armor coming out. I think she's going to build that into a Seeker's Arm Guard and try to snowball with that item.
I don't think she really has another option. However, no Oracle, so he can't really do much.
Tries to get that fadeaway shot. Doesn't quite finish off the kill.
Ryva wants this blue buff, however, Hecarim's forced to take it. Void Energy now in a bit of a pickle. He's not quite where he wants to be, but the ultimate from Lux, not going to be able to kill anybody.
Ooh.
And a kill going over to Riva, even though he doesn't have the blue
flash.
buff.
He had the ignite on him. He wasted that flash. He was already dead. He should have just accepted his fate.
Yeah, I mean, there was that one auto attack that followed him that just definitely sealed his fate, but only so much you can do. And now Draven's having his first back, sitting on only 31 CS. He's going to have a BF sword, though.
Yeah, he does have enough for a BF sword and some pots. He might pick up a boots. He's got 325 gold. I think that's what he's going to pick up. Yeah, he just picked up his boots, so he can maybe try to get in there and get some CS better. But this Vayne is way ahead of him in gold and in CS.
Yeah, I mean, Vayne decided to finish her Zerker Greaves instead of the Blade of the Ruined King. Not quite sure where that's going. I mean, you definitely want that extra damage and the active from the Blade of the Ruined King as opposed to just some move speed from the boots.
Yeah, I think she had enough gold to finish her Berserker Greaves and didn't have enough gold to finish her Bork. She opted in for the more movement speed so she could chase a little bit better. She is far enough ahead in lane that she can forego her Bork for now. They're able to zone, so they're not really looking to fight right now. They're just looking to zone. So it doesn't surprise me that she went with their Berserker Greaves. An early sweeper comes out as well for J4. We'll see if this vision control can sort of even the balance.
Gnar picked up a pink ward, but once he hits level 9, which he just now did, I wouldn't be surprised to see him pick up an Oracle Sweeper, just because it's so much more cost efficient to be able to get into those shrouds than having to buy a pink ward every time he goes back to base.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely true. Picking up that early Oracles against a stealth champion like Akali or like Vayne can really turn a team fight just because you can get on top of those carries. And blue team does have 2 of those stealth champions. Void Energy getting caught out of Dragon here. The ult comes out, but
Not enough.
He gets his standard out in time to Q before he gets feared. So it just negated 2 ults right there because Riva threw his ults as well.
And it just wasn't even close.
No, not even.
And that should be the dragon. There's not much red team can really do. I mean, their 80 carries so far behind, and they don't have 2 of their bigger ultimates. However, the smite!
Comes out.
Master Confessor just walking away with it.
And the flash from Thresh to try to get the hook, but he throws it wide.
However, Draven still flashed also. But what this means is Pancakes is getting a lot of damage onto this tower. He's throwing his boomerang at it like that's going to do something, but it could go down.
I think it's going to go down here. So they traded Dragon. They got Dragon and a tower.
Yeah, so they came out way ahead.
They came out way ahead on that. They swing a 1k deficit into a 3k gold advantage. That's huge for them.
Yeah, I mean, J4, I'm pretty sure he had Smite available, he just missed it.
And they didn't try to CC Hecarim at all or try to flay him away. I'm really surprised that he was able to get in that close, because he didn't have his ult, so he wasn't able to just ult in and try to smite it away. He was just able to walk right up and
when the enemy jungle just walks into pit and takes it, that's a bit of a problem. However, Olama eating a hook, but the flame misses.
So I'd anticipate...
I'm wondering if Pancakes can 2v1 this. Lima Bean's already going down. 3v1, the ultimate coming out of Lux, and the Cataclysms and another auto attack is going to be enough to pick that up.
the shutdown gold going to J4. Let's see what he builds with that. One thing I do see that's lacking on the blue side team at the moment is they don't really have a frontliner. J4 is building his offensive jungle item in the Lizard Elder. It looks like, yeah, he just finished his Lizard Elder. So I'd anticipate him to be the frontline tank for blue, but he opted to go for the damage build early. So we'll see when he gets those tank stats, if it comes in too late.
Yeah, I mean, Gnar finishes his Triforce and picks up a regular sweeper, not finishing it. The Fierce, and so does the knockback onto Plague of Rats. Kratos just gets so much damage. Gonna go down to the empowered auto attack Arriva. However, Plague of Rats now is just stuck in a bad way and gonna go down to Riva once again. So a nice double kill there. And American Flag still at half health. He was tanking tower that entire time.
Yeah, he was able to get his ult off. That's really, really important for that Alistar to get that ult off because that's 70% damage reduction. And so he was just able to sit under the tower, tank for his team the entire time, and only get down to half health.
I mean, this tower is far from going down, but Draven's definitely trying to get back in this. He's still down by 60 CS, though.
Yeah, he's still down. It's only 800 gold difference now. He does have 1,500 gold that he's sitting on, so I'd anticipate him going back here soon, since his support is also backing right now. So it'll be interesting to see what he picks up. I'd anticipate him finishing his Berserker Greaves and picking up a pickaxe, just because I'd anticipate the IE to come out of Draven. But he's staying in lane for some reason. He's sitting on 1,600 gold.
I think he wants to finish it on his next back, seeing he's almost already an item behind Vayne, who has all the parts for her cutlass now.
I think that's a 2,200 item, though. 2,200 gold item sitting from just a BF sword. So he's going to have to stay in lane for a really long time if he wants to finish that. He does throw his ult down to try to save the tower. He gets a lot of CS there. He's up to 1,800 gold now. So it'll be interesting to see if he stays for that 400 gold.
And Lima being thrown down this shroud really early. Wants to get this whole wave of farm, but Pancakes is trying to say no. Just going in.
Ooh,
The
flash
boomerang
game's
misses. The
long.
counter flash and the final auto attack. It's enough. Olama just not in a good way right now.
Ooh,
A
the
good
CC
Gnar. A great Gnar from Gnar.
The flash is going to have to blown here. Is he going to jump over the wall? Hecarim's coming in to try to...
Master
secure the
Confessor's
wall
gonna go
instead.
down to Falcodile though. Just a bit of a misplay here.
Gnar might die here too.
Pancake's not tanky. He could maybe die to minions.
He barely gets out.
And with the final flare from Lux on cooldown, nothing really to worry about there.
Yeah. One thing to note here is red side's wards. They have 2 deep wards on the top side blue jungle. So they're able to spot J4's movements and react appropriately. I believe on that 4-man gank bot, J4 was spotted top. So Hecarim immediately roamed down bot and was able to secure that 4-man tower dive without any threat of J4 coming across. So those 2 wards are very important. Especially since they have both T1s down, mid, and top, so they want to push into these inners. Gnar is able to tower dive.
A flash from Olama trying to get the knockup on the Vayne. It's not going to be there, but Plague of Rats.
Exhaust comes down.
The box is going to do a lot of good here. I don't think they have what they need to finish
They're
this.
gonna keep going. Alistar's tanking.
I mean, they want to give it to...
Comes down.
They wanted to give it to Olama, but he just wasn't paying attention.
I think he got it eventually.
He got it eventually. His team probably yelled at him. But it cost him his summoner heal, too.
Yeah. But Olama coming back in this game now, I think he has enough to finish his IE.
2,800 gold, yeah. It should
he
be
definitely
enough.
does. He might even have enough to finish his Zerker Greaves with that. At least pick up a dagger.
There's the Infinity Edge. What else? Still 600 gold. So he's just short of finishing the Zerker Graves.
I think it's 650.
675, I believe?
675? Okay.
For the full cost of just boots, yeah. They ping out Gnar, who's keeping these deep wards really good. He's definitely putting them where he needs them so he can stay safe. Gets
Coming
the
in on
slow.
plus here.
He gets the slow, and the light binding's gonna miss. Ignites onto
Ignite
everybody.
to secure it.
Yep, that's one kill. The teleport from Akali, and now everybody's stuck in this Cataclysm. A great ultimate from both the Ziggs and the Draven to finish that fight up, though. And
Hecarim coming across with his ult as well.
the Hecarim lived even. The
Yeah.
Hecarim was in the middle of 4 team members and still was able to live.
J4 really hurting his team with that Cataclysm there, locking in his 80 carry with four damage dealers just sitting right there is not a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, there was just perfect setup for red team's AoE. I mean, the Draven ult landed, the Super Mega Inferno Bomb landed, and now they're going to lose Inhibitor off this. That's a huge swing.
They're up 9K at 18 minutes. That's a huge difference. Their top lane and their mid lane is ahead 80 and 70 CS respectively. 60 CS, sorry. I don't see blue coming back unless they get a miracle play or if red really misplays. But this is really red's game to win.
I mean, they could have tried to rush the Baron down right there, but it looks like red team thinking they can get the dragon and play a little greedy, but they're just going to lose a bunch of pink wards off of it.
Yeah, blue's going to be able to set up their vision here, and it's important to note that Nar's top without a teleporter. So this is a really risky...
Hecarim's there. Hecarim's there. Can he go for steal number 2?
They're going to nuke
Nope,
him down before
they
can get it out.
they learned their lesson last time. The hook gonna miss and get the condemn, not gonna get the stun out, and now they need to leave. Nar's still in this top lane. If
He's gonna be
Ziggs
able to
can,
secure this tower.
if Ziggs can stop the recalls, it would definitely mean the tower.
He's got a huge wave with him. It's about a wave and a half, and it's a siege minion, but he's gonna back off because they lost vision of the Vayne and of the Akali. Although Akali just showed mid again, and they have a huge wave mid. I believe Gnar could have stayed, but he's gonna secure this blue buff for his team. I do anticipate the rotation from red to go straight top, but we'll see what they do. They seem to be staying in this mid lane for some reason, and Hecarim running towards that bot lane. Red's just really wasting time here. Not really doing much with an advantage they could have pushed, especially since blue had to back because they were all mainly at half health. Blue's gonna get away with.
They lost the
Dragon
bot
for
tower. They did lose the bot tower to
Oh, they
minions,
did lose
but
the
it's tier 1. From a strategical standpoint, it's not the most important at this stage of the game.
Yeah, I do believe Dragon gives more gold than a T1 tower to the team at this point in the game. So not a bad trade from blue. They are trying to claw their way back into this.
I mean, Akali is so far behind. Just having a Seeker's Arm Guard and a Revolver boots. I mean, not much damage, not much sustain of defense. I don't know. She's got nothing, really. She's just looking to die, basically.
5 and 2 is not a very good score for an Akali. And Draven, with no defensive stats, might possibly fall to her, but she's going to have to dive through a Hecarim, Gnar, and an Alistar. I don't see her getting to that back line anytime soon, at least.
I mean, she can get there. She's just probably going to die right away.
Yeah, she's not going to be able to get her damage on.
I want to see Gnar upgrade his sweeper right now instead of going for more damage. He picked up a BF sword when he could really use that Oracle and just completely stomp the lane.
Yeah, he does have that pink ward, so I think he's opting to not upgrade his oracles yet. Trying to get that more damage down, just because he has such a big advantage right now. He's 102 CS up, 6 kills up. He's ahead 4,000 gold. I think he's just trying to snowball as hard as he can. He's drawing 3 people to the top lane while his rest of his team takes his bot tower.
And
he's dealing a lot of damage.
He basically could 1v3 if it came down to it. And they're gonna get this tower for free because nobody's in a position to respond. And now that everybody left, he's gonna get that top tower.
He can dive the slugs easily, especially if he builds up his Fury efficiently. He has his Ignite up, so I'd anticipate him diving as soon as he gets Mega Gnar.
Yeah, here he goes. He hops in, however, he gets stunned.
Out and blowing the flash.
He gets the flash.
Blow the flash.
A bit of a waste of a flash there. He probably should just focus the tower.
Overzealous, yeah. He's gonna secure the tower here, though. Ooh, Lux taking out the CS, which is good. It's a good final spark, taking out his CS, but Gnar's so tanky and that tower was so low, it doesn't really matter.
I mean, he's not even that tanky. He's built 0 armor, so it's not like he can tower dive for days. But he's doing so much damage right now, and now he wants this inhibitor while the rest of the team's busy bottom.
They're gonna send the entire team. J4 is gonna try to defend this tower, but it's gonna be
Drops the pink ward, but there's just so many people there.
Vayne with the ult.
On to Draven.
Ooh,
they go in. However, now they
split
a
engage.
good counter engage could happen right now. The red buff onto Vayne. slowing him up a lot.
Oh, that
A four.
Mega Inferno bomb.
The Draven ultimate gonna come out, not pick up any kills. Master Confession getting backed off. Cataclysm onto Riva, but American Flag's just gonna be in the way. Final Spark not gonna kill anybody, and a good kill onto Thresh. The Gnar landing onto two members. That is an ace for Red Team. The heal coming out of Olama not gonna be enough to keep him alive, but Riva and Pancakes definitely have the attack damage to take out these inhibitors.
Yeah, this is going to be a 2 inhibitor advantage to Red side. I'd anticipate them clearing this mid inhib, possibly even going for that bottom Nexus tower. No, they're going to play it safe and they're going to back. I'd anticipate them setting up wards in the blue side jungle and start up this Baron.
I mean, they don't even need to start the Baron. They could just bait it, get an ace, and then just walk right in.
And end the game, yeah.
I mean, they're all sitting on at least 1,400 gold. I mean, Heckrams has 3k gold sitting on his bank account. They're all going to be able to pick up huge items right now and just do whatever they want.
Couture's trying to do all he can on Vayne here, but everyone else is just too far behind. Bot lane was able to win, but the rest of the lanes just fell way too far behind. Kali definitely suffering from that first blood deficit.
I mean,
possibly
Vayne won the lane. Vayne won the lane, but Draven's been able to bring it back up to 300 gold deficit while still being down 110 CS. I mean, and that's just a lot from his team, being able to pick up those global objectives. 8 towers, a dragon. Like, they've definitely been able to make up for the bot lane deficit.
Yeah. And Gnar picking up a fork pot here, just to get some more health and some more AD if he decides to tower dive and get that Mega Gnar. He has such a split push threat at the moment that they have to send at least 3 people to deal with him.
And even that's risky. I mean, if they come at him one by one in a slow drain, he can just kill them all.
Yeah, he's got such kite potential. Here comes Hecarim. That's a good binding by Lux.
Yeah, great light binding. Master Confessor just eating so much damage. The ultimate coming out. The 2-man rocket bomb. Krator's going to flash out of the spinning axes from Draven. Another good light binding.
Gnar's on this top tower. Uncontested.
Completely unchecked. Final spark going to come, but that tower's still going to go down. And now the Gnar just jumps in, lands the ultimate onto Falcadile. Just gets completely deleted by that Draven combo. Hook onto Olama. And he's going to need a tower shot, but now that's 3 inhibitors down.
Yeah, I'd anticipate Red just slow pushing this in, getting their supers onto
Olama, jumping in a 4-man Cataclysm. Now Vayne pops the ultimate and the Blade of the Ruined King. Pancakes in the middle of the fight, gonna get condemned away. And not going to be able to pick up any kills. Riva going really hard. Going to get exhausted. The Ignite not going to be picking up that kill. It's going to go to the American Flag with a Pulverize auto attack.
I'm not sure if that satchel charge was supposed to knock him away or into the fight, but
he was definitely going aggressive, yeah. I mean, even with Riva going down, that's going to mean the Baron. They just have too many super minions in the base right now.
Yeah, they're spawning double supers right now since they have all 3 inhibs down. This is going to be really hard for blue team to come back in. I'm not even sure what they can do. They have to sit in their base and wave clear for so long. Those inhibs have at least a minute left on them. So that's 2 waves of double supers that are going to be flooding into this base. And Baron is secured by a red team. This doesn't look good for blue team.
Yeah, I mean, the only member of Red Team not going to get that Baron was Riva on the Ziggs, who spawned 2 seconds after they took it down. But it was a necessary risk. Any later, and Lux would have been able to steal that.
So Blue's going to get their inhibs back up here in about 15 seconds. Oh, there it is. They get both of them bot spawning first, obviously, but they did get a couple waves of that double supers. I think top still has the double supers coming in. So it's going to be a real challenge just clearing all these waves. Red team is just going to come in and take these inhibitors back. Looks like Draven's going to solo Dragon here. get some more change here coming into their pockets. A lot of them have 3 to 4 items built already, where blue team are really sitting on 1 to 2 items. They have such a gold advantage here going into the 30-minute mark. Blue team is just trying their best to wait for here.
Not sure what Draven's gonna build that lone dagger into, having already finished his boots and his static shiv. Could be a Blade of the Ruined King. Not what you would typically see onto a Draven, though.
No.
A nice light binding onto 2 members, but I don't think he can
Ooh,
do anything.
Flash stun.
The house is gonna miss, but now Void Energy is going on to Riva. These auto attacks from Olama trying to do damage. The ultimate gonna come out. The Zonia's onto Riva. Not gonna be enough. He's gonna go down. Same with the Akali. And now Pancakes gets hooked under tower. The Lightbind is gonna miss though. Gonna pop the Hex Drinker. The ultimate from Lux, not enough.
So close. And that regen from Baron is just gonna
Headbutt, pulverize, a jump. Falconau's gonna go down to Master Confessor, and now there's just so many minions.
That looks like it's gonna be GG to Bravo team.
Yeah, very
26 to 8.
kind of unfortunate that DC could really swing that game so hard the way it did, but you can't say that they didn't work with it. I mean, the rotations to be able to take advantage of the Gnar and take advantage of their bot lane's deficit just was perfect, and they were able to walk away with it.
Definitely, and the early engage by J4 to give double buffs to Gnar was definitely detrimental to that top lane. She was already behind in experience and in CS. To give that double buff to Gnar just allowed him to snowball so much harder.
Yeah, I mean, it was like I said, it was unfortunate for the DC kill, but the fact that Draven also went in and just straight up gave a second one, it was just salt in the wound and just nothing that could have been done about it. And you see Gnar actually having more kills than the entire blue team. That's just very unfortunate.
Yeah, that's kind of insult to injury right there.
Yeah, I mean, and then with Akali being so far behind, yet still having the most wards placed on her team, I mean, what is your support doing if you're getting out-warded by a top laner who's multiple kills behind?
Definitely. In a 30-minute game, to only see 44 wards and 43 wards from each team, that's not a very high warding percentage. I think if Blue had been able to ward a little bit more efficiently, they may have been able to spot those rotations and maybe stop the snowball that Red Team was able to accumulate. Gnar did a fantastic job at warding that topside jungle on Blue side. So he was able to see all the ganks that were coming. They were able to spot J4 as he roamed into the topside jungle, and they were able to secure some kills bot lane because of that. So definitely those deep wards were instrumental to them snowballing. But I'd anticipate, if more wards were placed, I'd anticipate a lower kill game and definitely possibly a closer game. It's also worthy to note that only 3 sweepers were purchased that entire game. If you do look at the professional scene, you're seeing at least like 7 to 8 sweepers purchased a game, maybe a couple blue trinkets purchased. No one would have yellow trinkets by the end of the game. I think if blue team had been able to purchase some more sweepers, they would be able to sweep out that topside jungle and maybe get a gank on Gnar that was successful, but they weren't able to do that.
Or even some Oracle lenses. I mean, we have 3 sweepers, and none of them were upgraded to Oracles. I mean, with a Vayne and a Akali, you can't just rely on those pink wards. They just have the amount of mobility that even if you throw it down, they can move enough that it makes it ineffective. Whereas if you can keep an Oracle's vision up, then they can move around all they want. It's still going to be seen and just be able to turn that fight.
Mm-hmm.
That
really
being
interesting to see Alistar having a red, an upgraded Sightstone, and still having a warding trinket. I'd anticipate him maybe upgrading it to a pink ward trinket, or like you said, an Oracle red or an Oracle trinket. I think would have been the most efficient use of that trinket slot.
Yeah, I mean, just you can only put out so many wards, and by not having a sweeper, it's a wasted space. You have enough wards with that regular, whatever it's called, warding totem. I can't think right now. My mind is broken.
Yeah, it's the working totem.
The sightstone, that was the word I was looking for.
Oh,
You have enough
sightstone.
wards with the regular sightstone that at that point forward you don't need the warding totem. And so especially when you upgrade it to the ruby, it's just completely redundant and you really need to be able to trade that in.
So who do you think were MVPs for this game, starting with blue side?
Starting with blue side, I would give it to... Man, I don't even know. Probably... I don't know. There's so many ways it could have gone. Like if you go by most kills, it's the Vayne. If you go by most wards, it's the Akali. Even though she lost the lane so hard, but I'd probably give it to the Vayne, who was able to just win lane against a bully and try and be somewhat useful to the team.
Yeah, I would also give it to Vayne. I feel like she had the most presence on blue team. Even when those fights were going south, she was able to position very well, use her Bork effectively, and kite back to the point where she was one of the last people standing, and then she would die underneath the tower. I just feel like she had the most presence on blue team, and played the best on blue team. What do you think about purple side?
Purple side, I have to give it to Gnar. I mean, he was able to snowball his lane and just make it work for the team. He was able to get deep wards in, make sure his bot lane knew when it was safe to go super aggressive, and just become such a threat that they had to bring multiple people to that top lane and just give away free objectives.
I completely agree. Even though he did get that BM first blood, I don't feel like that's what snowballed the lane. I feel like the failed gank from J4 and giving him double buffs and another kill is really where the snowball started, because he was able to just auto that Akali down and get another kill. So he was 3-0 coming into like the 4-minute mark, and those double buffs really helped him secure that. And the early phage as well he was able to tower dive, which just no remorse. And the deep wards that he placed for his team were instrumental in spotting the J4 and allowing him to put pressure on the other parts of the map. So I'd definitely give Gnar that MVP.
Yeah, and with all that said, we're going to take a 60-second break while we set up the second game. Invites are going out, so everything should hopefully be done by the time we come back from commercial.